welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So a little update for you. An additional $20.76 million is being proposed by the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs in the 2026 Supplementary Appropriation and the Mid-Year Review. According to Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku, a figure is expected to cover outstanding arrears and international obligations, including the $13.75 million to cover the cost of proposed repair to the residents of the permanent representative of the permanent mission of the United Nations in New York. Trying to go listen to this.
$20.76 million to settle outstanding arrears left by the PNM, or arrears left by PNM to CARICOM, and to meet the cost of the government's contribution to the UN peacekeeping operations.
So viewers, $13.75 million. $13.75 million. Why are we seeking $13.75 million to repair the residence of the permanent representative of the permanent mission of the United Nations in New York? Why are we spending $13.7 million to repair a property? Ask yourself, why are we doing that? And is this $13.7 million going to be spent in New York, or is it going to be spent in Trinidad and Tobago? If it is going to be spent in New York, let the United Nations do it. Let the United Nations do it. Also, another update. Lies says Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association President Crystal Archie. This, as he discussed the back pay promise made to teachers and what has been put in press release by Education Ministry. Listen to this, viewers.
Lies and lies and lies and lies. The Minister of Education stated that, what I said, back pay remains a priority of the Ministry of Education, and they're working on it vociferously and so on. This is the clear, you know, this is teachers' take on it. Just lies.
Lies.
That's what it is.
Lies.
The Minister of Education has no interest in us receiving our money. When I spoke to him earlier in the year, he said he doesn't get involved in such things. Now, the Minister, I would like to ask you to possibly revisit that answer. You know why? Because it impacts on your ministry, which is the Ministry of Education. And just as we stated there, if it is that way, teachers, educators are not receiving their money until 2027, but I guess it's 2020, maybe, I'm not even sure, the goalpost will be shifted again. Right? Because every time you think that you're getting some traction, we are seeing the goalpost being shifted by the powers that be. Only lies, more lies.
So Trinidad and Tobago, what I want to ask the Teachers Association, did they sign up the 4% when PNM was offering them? This is what I want to ask the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association. Did they sign the agreement for the 4% that PNM was giving them? That is all I have to ask them. That is all I have to ask them. Now, Tutor Industrial Relation Officer Kerry Brooms also questioned the Ministry of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlett, on where the money set aside in fiscal 2025 for teachers' back pay has gone. Listen to this.
Said in fiscal 2025 that $900 million was allocated to pay the arrears of teachers. The current minister said we have to ratify it. So they ratified it, and they allocated $900 million. But guess what? Apparently, Mumford passed through. Right. Because the $900 million has disappeared. And there's suddenly no money to pay teachers. The line item has disappeared. So nobody to pay back pay. And now, all of a sudden, they need to quantify. But there's a process that we use when we meet with the CPO to quantify how much back pay will be paid, to quantify. And we did that, and that's how we came up with $900 million. So how now there needs to be processes before any release can be done.
So was the money allocated? Was the money allocated? Now, according to Tanku, he said those who have negotiation going on, it will continue to go on until agreement is met on either side, under the negotiation side and the ministry. But what I don't understand is, when Keith Rowley told Trinidad and Tobago to wean off the government, you know, we weren't hearing anything for years. All these ministries that decide to protest now, we were not hearing anything for years. This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. All of a sudden, everybody just kick up gesso and decide to protest and protest and protest because a new administration, a new party is in power. Not to say picking sides, you know, but talking reality. All of a sudden, all those people who signed up for 4% under the PNM administration wants 10% now. And they're demanding 10%. It's sad, you know. It's really, really sad to see how these same people humble themselves when 4% was given to them. And now they're making a bacchanal for 10%. This is the reality we are facing. Now, Keith Rowley said, we know of the government when he came into power. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. Minimal amount of protests we had. But nobody said anything. They stayed quiet. They humbled themselves, tail between their leg, and that's it. When David Jonathan, who said, they're going to pay back pay. They're going to pay. I am seeing where they are putting things in place to pay back pay. So what if now David Jonathan could come out and said, you know what? I'll wean off the government. What is going to happen now? Could Tuta come out and say what is going to happen? If the UNC administration says the very same thing that the PNM said, wean off the government, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Clungenberg, when the PNM lost the election, Clungenberg came out and said that this government has no money. So I am wondering how it is a former Minister of Finance who governed Trinidad and Tobago under the Ministry of Finance for 9 years come out and said this UNC government has no money. Well, it tells me that Clungenberg left no money in the treasury. Did it occur to you? That by Clungenberg saying that this government has no money, which means he left no money in the treasury, did this occur to the people who protested for money? If Kamala Prasad-Bissessar comes out and say, you know what, all we know of the government, what is our position? I am asking you all on a live program in Trinidad and Tobago on Synergy, what is all your position? Well, what are you going to do? Put all your tail between all your legs and just humble down all yourself like all you did in the PNM days? I understand that there are frustrations. I understand that the PNM said all you're getting, and 9 years pass and all you get any. But don't take it out on the UNC government, who is here for 1 year, and they are showing Trinidad and Tobago what is the mid-year review budget about, and what they are asking, and what they are going to release. For educated people, use the knowledge that all are gained. I wouldn't be surprised if we're all again on David Jonathan, who said win off the government. I wouldn't be surprised if he says that. Now with Trinidad and Tobago, another update for you. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Eli Zucker has confirmed that there has been a reduction of fixed penalty notice issued by roughly 22% compared to the same period last year. Listen to this one.
And when we increased the fines effective January 1, the P&M, there was an uproar. But I would like to just share what has happened since then. I would have mentioned on Friday that vehicle inspections in January went up by 125 or 22%. And persons renewing a driving permit outside of a legal time frame went up 355%. Mr. President, between January 1 and today, over 12,350 persons renewed a driving permit that had expired. Over 1,000 over 6 months and under 3 years was driving with expired driving permits, and over 200 between 3 and 5 years.
So Trinidad and Tobago, in sharing the statistics in the Senate today, the minister detailed how the higher penalties have driven greater compliance, which directly contradicted opposition claims that the measures were merely a revenue collection exercise. Listen one more time.
When we increased the fines, the P&M, the opposition jumped up. This is a revenue collecting exercise. But let me share some figures with you. Between 2020 and 2025, under the P&M administration, they issued $601 million in fixed penalty notices in 5 years. I would like to share these figures with you. Between January 1 of 2025 and the 15th of June of 2025, 56,785 fixed penalty notices were issued. January 1 to the 15th of June this year, 44,295, a reduction of 12,490 fixed penalty tickets were issued for the same period last year. Persons are complying more since the increase in fines.
Saieed has been granted $700,000 bail upon making her first court appearance hours after returning to Trinidad from the United States this morning. Saieed was granted bail when she appeared before High Court Master Saieed Ali from the Tunapuna police station a short while ago. During a hearing, Master Ali read 8 criminal charges. Saieed is accused of that arose from a controversial police-involved shooting at the corner of College Road and Bassey Street Extension in St. Augustine on January 20th. Saieed was not called upon to plead to the charges which were laid indictably. At a TTPS media briefing today, Public Information Officer Acting ASP Owen Russell gave an update on the matter, noting that her arrest was in accordance with standard TTPS operation. He listed her charges, which were unlawfully killing her partner Joshua Samaru, manslaughter as they would say, shooting at police officers with intent to cause them grievous body harm, possession of a Glock pistol and ammunition, among others. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
She appeared before Master Saieed Ali at the Tunapuna High Court, where she was granted bail in the sum of $700,000 to cover all 9 charges. The matter was adjourned to the 8th of October 2026 for a status hearing. The 9 charges are as follows: manslaughter, 3 counts of shooting with intent, possession of firearm, possession of ammunition, possession of firearm within 40 meters of a street, possession of firearm to endanger life, and possession of ammunition to endanger life.
Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. We'll be right back with the Tea and Tech Probe controversial protected list. Stay tuned, viewers. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Welcome back.
That Sealy is going to be charged with. But one thing that got me, there's a charge that says possession of firearm within 40 meters of a street. This is something new to me. This charge that I have heard. Why am I saying this? It's because we have heard police officers holding individuals with weapons in houses, chasing down a bandit, you find a weapon on him. But we never hear the police officers reading out this charge that says they are found with a weapon 40 meters of a street when you actually catch them on the street with the weapon. So I don't know if this is a new charge that TTP has brought out that we are now hearing about it, but I am going to inquire about it a little more. A little more. Because I've been in the media for 9 years now, and we heard of all sorts of charges over the 9-year period that police have held individuals with firearm on streets, in vehicles, in houses. But this is the first time I am hearing about this charge. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, it is news to me, and I am sure it is news to some of you all. But I am going to inquire about it more. And the more information I get on it, Trinidad and Tobago, I am going to share it with you. Switching gears now. The Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, TNTEC. You know, on my previous night show, after all these episodes or news released in Parliament, I asked someone from TNTEC to come out and explain to the citizen about this protected list that TNTEC had. My goodness, I didn't realize how powerful my voice was. So today, Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission says it has sought legal advice over the extension of a controversial protected list of customers' shield from the normal disconnection process for unpaid electricity bill, as it admits there is no document, policy, procedure, or recording explaining how certain individual and private companies to be included on this list. Now, in a statement issued today, TNTEC confirmed that the list exists. So TNTEC is confirming that the list exists, but it said it is currently unaware of how several individuals and private sector entities were added because no supporting documentation or board approval or formal criteria can be found. So Trinidad and Tobago, what is really taking place? Did this list, let me rephrase that. Did these entities or individuals who were added to this list, did it start from 2015 to 2025? I'm just asking a question. That is what I am asking. Now, the disclosure comes after Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar raised concerns in Parliament about the existence of what she described as a protected list of customers whose electricity supply was not disconnected despite outstanding arrears. So who is these individuals to be exempted from TNTEC cutting your light bill when your bill go into arrears? If 60 days pass and you do not pay your light bill, which means your light bill is going into what? Into another bill. So if 4 months pass now, I'm just saying something, If 4 months pass and you don't pay your light bill, what's going to happen? TNTEC supposed to come and cut you? Yes, because every time one bill come and meet the other bill, on top of your bill, there's a red writing, says due for disconnection. Due for disconnection. So TNTEC now wants to know how several individuals and private sector entity were added because no supporting documentation, board approval, or formal criteria can be found. Who was the former Minister of Public Utilities? Marvin Gonzalez. So now Marvin Gonzalez now is in hot water because he has to come out and explain to TNTEC and also to the citizens how these individuals ended up on, and entities ended up on that list. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want to take you back to a few years ago. Remember when Marvin Gonzalez came out on a platform and said to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that TNTEC is in debt. And we, the citizens, have to contribute a payment to take TNTEC out of that debt. I remember that. Around the same time, Trinidad and Tobago, Marvin Gonzalez told the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that, hey, listen this, Because of the fact that we are in hard time, you have to carry out your children one time for the month. You have to eat macaroni pie. You have to eat dumpling that fried in oil. You have to eat fit to carry alone. And I remember when Marvin Gonzalez told us we have to eat macaroni pie one time for the month. And I remember that Trinidad and Tobago. So now Marvin Gonzalez have to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago, because of the fact that he was the Minister of Public Utilities back when the PNM was governing Trinidad and Tobago, he have to explain to TNTech how these individuals reached on that list. I hope Marvin have some good lawyers now. So listen to this now, Trinidad. Let me tell you now. You see how powerful my voice is? You see how powerful? This has been going on for days and nobody from TNTech come out. All I said on my show, all I said was, could somebody from TNTech, some seniors, come out and explain to Trinidad and Tobago what actually is taking place with this protected list? Let me tell you something. When there's a man stand for no nonsense, when there's a man cannot be bought out, when there's a man that don't stand for side the road nonsense, you see how powerful your voices be? You see how powerful your voices be? Let me tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, I is one individual to beg for ad to run on Real Talk. 9 years now. 9 years now. That is how powerful the voice of Saieed Ali is. This is a man who running a current affairs program informing the citizens of the right thing, when to stand up, how to stand up, and when to do what you gotta do. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Your voice is powerful, very powerful. Now, I want to know something. It alleged, TNTech said they had confirmed of the list, right? The list there. And how long they tell you they cannot. 1 minute they said they know about the list. And next minute they said they cannot confirm. What kind of thing going on in this country, Mr. Saeed?
I get into that shortly, Tanti. I get into that.
Yeah, what's really going on? We need some answers, some questions and there to answers, man.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. So, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, eh? Listen to this, eh? According to the commission, the list was originally intended to ensure continued of service for critical national institutions, including government ministries and department, state enterprise and public authorized and foreign embassies. Those are the only entities. I will say that again. Government ministries. That is why under the PNM, no government ministries paid their light bill. Also, department paid no bill. State enterprise paid no bill. Public authorities and foreign embassies paid no light bill. It doesn't matter if you go from $1 to $1 million, you have nothing to pay. This is according to TNT, okay? However, Trinidad and Tobago, the commissions said that between 2015 and 2025, the list was expanded to include government ministers, members of parliament, and certain private companies. It said there is now no published policies explaining that expansion and no document detailing how these additions were made. TNTech sought to reassure the public that it remains committed to treating all customers fairly. So from 2015 to 2025, it was expanded. Who was in government from 2015 to 2025? Trinidad and Tobago, I want to hear earlier. I want to hear earlier. So while Marvin Gonzalez and his PNM colleagues were benefiting from free electricity bills, we the citizen if we owe TNTech $5 on our next bill, they send in a truck to cut your current. Marvin Gonzalez was the one who told Trinidad and Tobago, I believe, because he was the former public utility minister, told Trinidad and Tobago that TNTech was in a debt. And we the citizens need to contribute to bring TNTech out of that debt. And at the same time, Marvin telling us, hear this now, thing bad, all you need to eat macaroni pie one time for the month. But Marvin didn't say he was benefiting from free electricity. Kid Rowley came out and posted a light bill on social media for everybody to see it. Kid Rowley was who named to call from Kamala Prasad Mount? The first one, I believe. So my thing is, did Kid Christopher Rowley, a former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, lie to us again? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, let me tell you something. You see biasness? I don't take on biasness. When UNC there, we deal with UNC. When PNM there, we deal with PNM. I am not a biased fella. I am in no political party pocket. I am in no politician's pocket. And I am proud to say that here tonight. I don't have to read something and retract back, you know. That's not my thing, you know. When I come to all the citizens, I come with facts. I come with document. I come with video clip. I come with paper to prove. That is why for 9 years we have been standing strong and firm without anybody telling Saieed, hey, you don't have a partner, you highlight it. You know you have to retract your statement. But if your partner is nonsense, I will highlight it. Call a good night.
Good night, sir. Well said, sir. Because I'm going to make the same contribution, sir. You know, look, TNTech came out and admit that the list is from former cabinet ministers and all these kind of things. And you know, the press and the media, what kind of journalism is that, sir? You know, there's something called investigative journalism. When they come out and say it's a big fat lie. You know, that is PNM policy from day one, sir. You know, they came into government on lies. Remember the Emailgate story? Which was a blatant lie. They govern on lie, and it is because of lie now they get out. When, you know, and these people I want to tell the public that they are the government waiting is in lies and lies and lies. Does these people have anything that called shame, sir? How could you mislead the public? Look at the member of parliament for the coal pot man. He was in charge to recoup money for TNTech. And he did not find the requisite documents. Isn't all these things misbehaved? And then, as you rightfully said, they're coming down on the small man to fill that gap. This is unfortunate. These people must never see the corridors of power again, sir. Thanks a lot.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, watch me now. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break because it is that time. But stay locked on, don't go nowhere. When we come back, we're going to continue this TNTech thing with our former senior officials from TNTech making some comments. Stay locked on, don't go nowhere.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to remind you all before we go to the story, remember Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on our fixed deposit viewers. Let me tell you something. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is looking after the people who has money and wants to make an investment with a bigger return. We are the only financial institution in this country that is doing that for you. Also remember, viewers, we are licensed to do business in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that. Also, if you're looking for a loan, contact Real Talk Financing. You can contact me at 238-6716, 339-1670. Numbers are on the screen, 267-7325, viewers. And contact us for further details. So, viewers, as we go back to the T&Tech protected list, former senior officials of the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, Glenford Cyril, I hope I pronounced the name correct, has rejected allegations that a so-called protected list was created to benefit People's National Movement officials and their associates, insisting that the system has existed for decades and was never intended to exempt anyone from paying electricity bill. Never exempted anyone from paying electricity bill. But somebody would end up, Trinidad and Tobago, somebody end up with a $2.5 million owing T&Tech. How did that happen? Then Cyril, something wrong. He said the practice was long, predates both major political parties and has existed for at least 30 years. Listen to this.
Government are afforded the privilege of being on the list. All. Certainly, in her first stint as Prime Minister, she would have been on the list.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Listen to this. Cyril said the list was intended as a customer service mechanism through which prominent public officials could be notified when issues arise with their accounts and be given an opportunity to regularize payment before disconnection. So how it is now, the normal citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who working for $4,000 and $5,000 a month doesn't have this opportunity. People in public life, let me say this again, Trinidad and Tobago. Those prominent public officials could be notified when issues arose with their accounts and be given the opportunity to regularize payment before disconnection. Trinidad and Tobago, government ministers working for $40,000+ a month, they can afford to pay light bill for the community center in their community. But you know what? An opportunity was given to them. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago voted a party. They voted a party in to govern the country. Special treatment is given to them to make arrangement to pay their bill if issues arise or if the date pass. But the normal citizen of Trinidad and Tobago who toil and labor from 8 to 5 in the evening and they miss their dates because they may get time, them have to face disconnection. This is stinkingness that's happening in this country. So when you hear government ministers come out and tell all you, all are we in the same thing together, do not believe them and do not trust them. I am saying it on a live program. All of we are not in the same boat. Special preferential treatment are given to ministers who working for $40,000+ a month. What about the normal citizen? What about the normal citizen who lost their job? What about the normal citizen who gets salary deduction because a company or where they're working cut staff and cut back hours and had to reintegrate in a different method to make money? What about those people? What about those people? Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. It's a serious case here, you know. This is a serious thing, you know. Call a good night.
Right.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Saeed, yesterday I called you, right? And I was telling you that the Prime Minister would not go in Parliament with fake information, with false information.
Correct.
Now we know that the list is true.
Yes.
Because TNT come out and confirm that the list is true. So now we want to know who's the person that put them names on that list, and we want to know who's the person from TNT approved that list for them to be on that list. That's how we need to find out.
Yes.
People need to lose their job now, because everybody feeling the pinch now. And you can't tell me you're working for over $50,000 a month and you can't pay a $2,000 light bill at the end of a cycle.
Tell me now, man.
All you have to be fair to the people too.
Exactly.
And when the Prime Minister coming out and talking about corruption, people in the PNM saying, oh, it's not true, understand that.
Correct.
Where's all the evidence, all the pay the bill? We want to see where to see and collect money from all you when all your ministers. There must be real low to do that by Saeed. And watch me before I go, right? I want to touch on this Curry Marcel business here, where he come out and was talking as rubbish on our platform. Let me ask you a question, right? He talking about the UNC and certain people hate them, right? Let me ask you a question, right? Who run all these constituencies from day one? Did the UNC ever get any of them constituencies to run? How he could come out and say that the UNC hate them? All you always vote PNM. The PNM have all you where all you is today, not the UNC. The UNC just try to help where they could help all you. And Fitzgerald Hines built a swimming pool for all you in Lavantil. He ever built one in Felicity in Charleville for anybody?
True.
I asked him questions there, you know.
Yes.
Because the UNC for 1 year now, my road still ain't fixed. You hear me complaining? No, I don't complain. Everybody had a bite the bullet. Everybody know how hard the country is right now. And this is what they're trying to show people that it had corruption left, right, and center. And they're trying to clean it up. But you see, people want everything one time.
Correct.
You know the Prime Minister didn't say before I go, you know the Prime Minister didn't tell people that all these promises, she has 5 years to deliver on that.
Yes.
You need to understand that. She never said she's going to give all it in 6 months and a year. She has 5 years, which is a term, to deliver on those promises. So they can hold she to that within the first two. Anyway, Saeed, you enjoy your night, brother.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, He acknowledged, Glenford, he acknowledged, however, that the arrangement could be perceived as unfair by members of the public who face disconnection for unpaid bills. Listen to this.
It's a very ticklish thing because you've seen all the comments of that. If we owe in $100, they come in and they continue, but these big shots until yes, people will say that, but you know, that is not. They have to pay. It's just that they are notified and given the opportunity to pay up their account.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Former Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez accused the government of using the issue as a political distraction. But hold with that video. Marvin Gonzalez is saying that the UNC administration is using the issue as a political distraction. But listen to this. The commission said that between 2015 and 2025, the list was expanded and included government ministers, members of parliament, and certain private companies. Who is these certain private companies? The one that owes $2.5 million? So run the video, director. Let's try and go hear what Marvin Gonzalez had to say.
I regard the Prime Minister's conduct in the Parliament under parliamentary cover yesterday to be most egregious, scandalous, unbecoming of a Prime Minister. But why should we be surprised? The Prime Minister continues to behave in her normal self, supported by a hapless and irresponsible, reckless Minister of Public Utilities.
Marvin, you should eat all your words. You should eat all your words and drink down a little spring water to wash it down. You as the people, when you were in government, PNM administration came out and tell the citizen that TNTEC is in a debt and we have to contribute to bring TNTEC out of that debt. Not too far from there, you told us to carry our children. If we carry them 5 times for the month, going out, carry them 1 time and let them eat macaroni pie 1 time. So come out and say something that makes sense now, Marvin. According to the commission in TNTEC, that was expanded from 2015 to 2025 for private companies. For private, for big shots. How come my name not on that? And I run it 2 financial institutions. I'm still waiting for my name to go on that protected list. Because I just paid thousands of dollars when TNTEC sent my bill. Thousands, 10, 12, 13,000. Let me tell you something, I can afford to be on that private list, you know. I'm not just a company, you know. We are a financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that lending capital to people who want. Well, then I should be on that list, on that protected list. My company should be on that list. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, nevertheless, Rowley has since denied receiving special treatment, while opposition leader Penelope Becker also dismissed claims saying she has no knowledge of such a list and has never needed one because her utility bill has always been paid on time. Kid Christopher Rowley came out and showed us an April 2026 bill. Why didn't he show us a bill when he was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago from 2015 to 2025? So what we need now is an official from TNTEC coming out to tell the citizen now, since the list was expanded to 2015 to 2025, we need an official now. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar came out and said, called name from the opposition who was on the list. Good? Nice. That's sorted out. TNTEC come out and made a statement. Now what we need now is someone from TNTEC, some senior official, to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago to confirm what Kamala Persad-Bissessar is saying and whose name on the list. That is what Barry Padarat now needs to go to TNTEC and get that and come back. Bring some facts. Show us, the citizen, on our 60 days, how much Dr. Keith Rowley bill was. And who paid it for him. Bring proof to the parliament. Bring proof. That is what we need. Dr. Rowley says he knows nothing. Penelope says he knows nothing. Marvin says Kamala using it as a distraction. Trinidad and Tobago. What we need now is a little proof from TNTEC to show how much Keith Rowley owed and who paid the bill. How much Marvin Gonzalez owed on a 60 days and who paid the bill. And if TNTEC was paying the bill and did not disconnect them, well then we need to know how much Dr. Keith Rowley owed from 2015 to 2025. Proof. If each one of them saying they don't know about it, well then TNTEC supposed to release proof in the public domain. That, hey, Dr. Keith Rowley, you're telling tales. Your light bill from 2025, the beginning January 1 to December 31st, 2015, your bill was so much and so much. It's simple. What we need is proof. What we need is proof. Because this is a big issue, Trinidad and Tobago. Those who in Parliament working for 40+ thousand and they are given preferential treatment. Who put those people there? I want to ask TNTEC officials who put those parliamentarians there. It's the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It's the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, Dr. Rowley told us over and over and over, tighten your belt, tighten your belt, tighten your belt. Somehow we belt so tight. We had to take out our belt and use our go-to string to tie our pants. That's how tight we belt is. And you see what is coming out now? So I want the officials from TNTEC to come out, tell us how much Keith Rowley owed, tell us how much Marvin owed, tell us how much Penelope owed, tell us how much the man from Lavantel West owes since he became in power. And you know what I don't understand with these individuals and them? These citizens voted these individuals there to benefit our country, and then coming out now and telling us we're stupid, and we're foolish, and we're dotish. This is what I don't understand. We lost touch with the people. Imagine, power going to Clongenberg's head. He lost touch with the people. The only time he remember that is when he come out of power in his head. That's what is always say, you can't buy me out, you know. I run in a financial institution. I know about money. And that's what is always tell Trinidad and Tobago. Saieed is a man know about money. So viewers, good. Look how time fly now, eh? Look how time fly. Whenever let's Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to leave our little thing for our next night. Switching gears. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jolene John, have stated that the government is moving ahead with an extensive program of drainage and roadworks aimed at reducing flooding and improving infrastructure across Trinidad and Tobago. Viewers, listen to this.
This week, we will start another 140 projects already identified and scheduled under phase 2 of the program. And they will start today and will be rolled out all of this week. These interventions, Mr. Speaker, span critical flood-prone areas across both urban and rural communities, with priority given to known flooding hotspots. Because that was something we had a concern about, because, I mean, when somebody's house is flooded, it is painful, it is hard. Generally, it's the most vulnerable amongst us.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to shout out the Shogunas Corporation. I want to shout out the Shogunas Corporation. They have been doing some extensive work around Shogunas. Cleaning waterway, cleaning drainway. I have some videos in about. I just forget to give to the director to show it on television. I really want to commend the Shogunas Borough Corporation for doing a wonderful job in the Shogunas area. Hat goes out to you, fellas. Hat goes out to you. I will try to get the videos to run on my Friday and Thursday night program, so you all will see how the Shogunas Borough Corporation is performing. Let me tell you something. I really want to congratulate these fellas now. I really want to do that. But staying with Jolene John, there's 140 projects in 2 phases of the program. John also confirmed that over 3,406 roadways defects were fixed around Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to Jolene John.
Based on the report they have given me, we have done over 3,406 roadway defects across Trinidad and Tobago. We have addressed all of those. Some are small patches, some are big patches, and I mean to say, I wouldn't listen to the member for San Fernando East, you know, because I will do the same that I'm doing for any constituency or community. I will do it with joy for San Fernando, the people of San Fernando East, for the people of San Fernando East. And maybe you're still here. So, Mr. Speaker, these figures represent real impact. They represent improved access to schools, safer travel for workers, reduced flood exposure for families, and strengthened resilience in the face of increasingly unpredictable weather pattern.
So, switching gears a bit, viewers, Minister Devendra Tanku has stated that investors are keen on opportunities in Trinidad and Tobago. This, as he defended the government's economic record over the past year, insisting Trinidad and Tobago is on the rise despite criticism from the opposition. Devendra Tanku.
I really have to speak to my director of budgets to find out if he could find enough money to give both the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Energy sufficient funding to buy a stronger door. Because investors across the world are knocking and beating down on the doors of Trinidad and Tobago. They want to invest in this country. They're breaking down the doors. They want to invest in Trinidad and Tobago, but those people on the other side, the most unpatriotic bunch of individuals I've ever seen in my life, Mr. Speaker, all they want to see is this country fail.
Viewers, Tanku also defended increased spending on wages and arrears. Listen to this.
Because we are spending, Mr. Speaker, this substantial amount of money to pay arrears and to pay increased salaries that they refuse to put in place. The members opposite. I want members of the national public to know that thank God they chose this government, because if they had chosen that government, increases in salaries, they would have never seen that. Wage settlement or wage negotiation, they would have never seen that.
And this is the same thing I said just now, earlier in my program. When the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association and others were only balling lies. When Keith Rowley went into power, he told Trinidad and Tobago to wean off the government. To wean off the government, which means do not protest, don't ask me for nothing, we ain't giving all in nothing. And what did you all got in 9 years? I remember a paper, can't remember what paper it is, publishing 000 for all you. All you beg for 4%. When PNM give all you 4% before general election, many of you signed on for it. Boom, government change. UNC giving all a 10%. Everybody start to protest. All you forget all you sign up for 4% and stayed quiet. All you stayed quiet. Now a bunch of all you now complaining now. All you get no money, all you lies, only lies. When Keith Rowley tell you win off the government, how come you didn't tell me lie? How come you didn't tell me lie? Devendra Tanku is showing you all where money is going, what they're asking for, and what they intend to do with it 1 year in office. Some people already collected 10% already in back pay, but the other side now, watch my man. All should be shamed to keep a press conference. All should be shamed to keep a press conference. Or should keep a press conference and say, well, you know what? We accepted 4% on our PNM, but now UNC in power, we want to see what they go offer we. Trinidad and Tobago, time just fly when they hear you talking the truth, you know. But nevertheless, a run of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We will be right back here another night for another live Real Talk with Saieed. Until then, Trinidad and Tobago, be safe.